it's Rachy. So I'm here with a hair colour maintenance kind of update because it's been a year today since I first got my hair ever coloured. So I wanted to come on and kind of give a little update about my experience with hair colour. So I had my hair colour for the first time ever in, well, today, a year, April 11th, this time last year. I went to Aveda. I'm going to leave all the hair colour related videos down below in the more information description box, and I also leave them as video responses so you can go through and click and see what my kind of maintenance and updates on hair colour has been throughout the year. And I wanted to come on and give a little bit of, advice and share my little experience about hair colour, because it's been a year and I've done 2 things to my hair in regards to hair colour. So first, I want to talk about consultations. If you are thinking about getting your hair coloured professionally, which I would advise, Naomi will be doing a video about hair colour and her colouring her hair herself, but she is a qualified beautician, so she knows what she's doing. She's not a hairdresser, but she's a beautician, so she knows what she's doing in regards to hair colour, and she would talk more about that in her video. But I did not feel confident enough to colour my hair. I did buy a box colour and I did try it out on the front of my hair here, and I didn't get any results at all. In the past, probably 5 years ago, I tried a crazy colour and I had a bit of a purple tint. But other than that, I've never really officially coloured my hair other than henna. And henna left a bit of a red tint to my hair, but I'll talk about henna in a second. I went to Aveda to get a consultation. There are videos about the consultation and what I went through. I'll leave that below. But the reason why I went to Aveda was because I did ask around to see who had got their hair coloured where. And when I asked around, I spoke with Natural Belle, who advised me to go to the Aveda salon in Covent Garden because her friend actually worked there and she had had her hair coloured there. So I trusted her and I thought, okay, let me get a consultation first. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a chance to find out more about the colourist himself, what product they're going to use in your hair, what kind of dye they're going to use in your hair, what kind of technique is going to be used on your hair. So it's just getting a bit more idea and information about what process you're actually going to do, because a lot of people are scared to colour their hair because they're not too sure about the process and the actual product that will be used on their hair. If you are quite scared or nervous, or you need help in regards to not knowing what to do in regards to colour, then I advise you get a consultation. Even if it takes like 6 different consultations at the same salon or 6 different consultations at different salons, at least you have more information than you did prior to going in, if that all makes sense. So I would advise everybody, regardless if you've had your hair coloured before, to get a consultation, because a consultation gives the hairdresser a better understanding of your hair. They can understand the dryness, if your hair is breaking, if it's damaged, if it needs more conditioning, if it needs more loving. They can see that in your hair, maybe sometimes better than yourself. So I would advise that you go and get a consultation. Now, what to ask at the consultation? I asked what product would be used. So I asked for them to actually show me the box of the product that's going to be used, and also what's in the product in terms of chemicals and stuff like that, because I didn't want to use any ammonia. I didn't want to use anything that was damaging to my actual hair, especially it being the first time that I've had my hair coloured. Also, I wanted to know how long the colour would last. So would I have to keep topping it up? The after effects, would it make my hair dry? Would it lead to more breakage? Little questions like that, things that you may have on your mind and you want to get more information about. That's the questions that I asked. I wanted to get a copper brown colour, and I asked for swatches. Make sure you look at swatches. They will give you a guide as to what the hair colour will look like. Obviously it may not be exactly that, because everybody's hair colour is different. Your black and someone else's black could be completely different, so keep that in mind as well. But you want to pick a shade that's the closest to what you want to achieve, and we picked a copper brown. So going through the swatches, that's what I picked, and I felt confident enough for him to do my hair and to colour my hair. And the salon I went to was not a black salon, so they do not specialise in just black hair or Afro Caribbean hair or Afro hair or natural hair or relaxed hair. They just do hair. So consultation out of the way. Then I went to get my hair done. Now when I go to the salon, I do not wash my hair prior, but what I do advise, this is my tip, if you're going to get your hair coloured, make sure you have done a protein treatment at least 2 weeks prior to your appointment. So if you know you're going to get your hair coloured in 2 weeks time, make sure you do a protein treatment now, because the protein treatment will help strengthen up your hair strands, and you need your hair to be as strong as possible to take the colour. If your hair is weak and you get your hair dyed, it's going to break. It's as simple as that. So you need your hair to be in the best condition that it can possibly be prior to getting it coloured. So I would advise you to get a protein treatment. Make sure you are keeping up your deep conditioning treatments to a T. So prior to getting my colour done, I was deep conditioning every week. I was doing treatments every week. I was using my Fatica egg protein mask, which I have a review for. I'll leave that down below as well. Advise that you get a protein treatment prior to doing your hair colour, because protein actually helps to strengthen the bonds of your hair, and it's advised that you do protein treatments after you have your hair coloured as well. So I did a protein treatment at least 2 weeks prior to getting my hair coloured. So when I actually went to the salon, what we opted to do was just the top part of my hair. So here, from like here upwards, this is all coloured. The back of my hair here, I apologise for lighting, has absolutely no colour on it whatsoever. It's just the top kind of crown area of my hair has colour. I didn't want my whole head done, I just wanted the top bit to be coloured. So make sure you know how much you want done and how much you don't want done. I had the full crown done. I didn't just have the ends, I had the full crown. So my hair was coloured from the roots downwards, and I was very happy with the results. In terms of maintaining the colour, now we all know colour does not last for more than probably 6 to 8 weeks. In terms of brightness, it will start to fade. So what I was doing was using more products that were targeted at coloured treated hair. I do have a video of the products that I was using afterwards, and I'll put that down below. There's going to be a lot of links, but I'll put that down below. I didn't really see a difference in the way that my hair was being maintained in terms of those products working on coloured hair, because when your hair is coloured, it is drier than previously, well, what it was before. I didn't really see a difference in the way my hair was reacting to those products. I just thought it was just normal the way that my hair was reacting. I did stop using the coloured treated targeted products after about 3 or 4 months, because I just didn't really see a difference to the products I was using before. And my hair was starting to grow out. My hair was growing out really quickly. My roots were showing up really quick. I got kind of bored with the colour and I wanted to upgrade and change it, and I wanted an ombre effect. So I opted to get my hair coloured again, which this time I chose to go to the Darren Scott salon, and I do have a video about that consultation. I'll leave that down below as well. So you need to make sure that your moisture game is on point, which means if you have to refresh your hair every day with a spray bottle, that's what you need to do. If you have to you know, do the lock method, so spray water or put water in your hair, seal it with a butter or oil to make sure that moisture is sealed in your head, and that's what you need to do. I now have a routine which I'm used to. I will refresh my hair nearly every night or every 2 days, depending how my hair feels, but that's what works for me. If you feel like you don't have to re-moisturize every day, then that's what works for you, but you have to listen and notice what your hair is doing, because if it's dry, it's not going to give you any kind of hope in either maintaining healthy hair, or if you're looking to grow your hair, it's just not going to happen. So you have to be very wary of that. Also remember that the ends of your hair are the weakest part of your hair, so you have to make sure that your ends are in good shape, that they're trimmed or dusted, or if you want to cut where you need to cut, but you have to make sure that your ends are on point. So that's in terms of what I did for Veda over that period of time. So like I said, I got bored and I wanted to do colour again, but what I wanted was, because I had a brown, I wanted it to be slightly lighter, because it was fading into a really funny brown. It was copper brown, it was going into like a rusty brown, like it just didn't look nice. So I wanted to change it, so I wanted it to go lighter, but I wasn't too sure if I wanted it to go more blonde than brown, so I went for another consultation. But what I also did, which I advise everybody to do if you have a consultation, bring photos of inspiration of what you want to achieve. So if you know this is a specific hair color that you want to achieve, bring the photos with you. A lot of people have smartphones these days, iPhone, BlackBerry, HTC, Samsung, whatever it is. Make sure that you have photos of what you want to achieve, because there's no point talking about a color if you don't have a visual aid, especially as your hair will be visual. So you need to have that relation. So I had probably 20 pictures of what I wanted to achieve. I'll put some here so you can see them, but I took them along to the salon with me to show what I wanted done, and it was very beneficial, because certain looks that I wanted to get, I was told you can't do that without doing this, or you can't get that colour because of the colour you previously had. So you have to, you know, think about it, because what you may want to achieve may not be possible. So do you have a plan B or a second look that you may want to be going for? That's what you also have to think about as well. And because the colour I had at Aveda was a tint, which I forgot to mention, I had a tint done. I didn't have a permanent dye. It was a semi-permanent dye, so it was a tint. And because it was a tint, I couldn't put a tint over a tint, which is what I went to the second salon for. I went to get another tint and I was told that isn't possible. So I had to opt for a different option, which was bleaching. Now I know a lot of people say if you bleach, you're not natural. I don't live by that standard. I think that whole term natural is another thing, and that's another video, but I opted to bleach. Now I did not want to initially. I really didn't want to do it because I've heard that bleach is the worst thing you can do to your hair. It leaves your hair dry, your hair will break off. But these are the same things that I heard when I was told you shouldn't colour your hair. So I'm a very free-spirited, don't really care about things like that, living person.
And I was like, YOLO. YOLO, I'm joking. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, don't really care. If my hair breaks off, it breaks off. It'll grow back, such is life. You know, 25, living life. Who cares?
I had to get the colour done from here downwards. It wasn't going to be the whole hair strand, it was just going to be the ends. So I wasn't really that weary about it, because it was only going to be the ends of my hair. But we didn't do the whole. Now you can see the colour. Sorry, I'm by my window so you can get light. But anyway, so what we opted to do was colour the hair from like here downwards. If you can see in this section of my hair, this section shows better colour than this section. But this section of my hair, you can see I've got probably 3 shades of brown going on. So I have a darker brown here, and then a lighter brown here at the end. These ends here have more bleach on them, like this bit here has more bleach on it than the middle section here. So it coloured differently, and because of the way the colour was going, different areas coloured differently. So the back here, like here, is very light, like very light here, and it's kind of darker here than it is at the back. So it was just the way that the bleach reacted to the colour that I initially had, really and truly, because what I was told by the colourist is you can't really determine what colour you're going to get when you bleach your hair. It's kind of a guessing game. So he was kind of sitting by me just watching the colour change, and when he felt like it got to the correct colour, he then told me to bleach, like, we're going to wash the bleach out. It's just these bits at the end. I did not colour or bleach, sorry, the middle part here. It was only the top. So just here is where the colour stands. It's not anywhere below there. And I did that because I didn't want to do the whole section, just because I was still worried about the bleach. Even though I said, yeah, well, let's do it, I was still worried. Like, you can't pretend that you don't have some kind of concern, because I did. So I was still a bit worried. It affected my texture and curl pattern. The bleach did, the tint didn't. And in terms of this area, okay, I'll show you this piece as an example. This piece here, as you can see, is quite straight, and it doesn't really curl back up as the rest of it does. And I did have other pieces like that, and I cut them out. I have a picture on Instagram. But in terms of maintaining my hair during that space of time when I did have the colour in, what I will say is you have to make sure your moisture game is on point. You have to make sure that your hair is never dry, because when your hair is dry, that is when it leads to breakage, and that's when your hair starts snapping off. And people that get their hair coloured and they're like, oh, it's breaking off, it's snapping, you know, my hair is just not there no more, it's because your hair is dry and it needs moisture. If there's no moisture, your hair cannot grow, it cannot stay on your head, it will just break off into the wilderness, it will break off. And I was doing a braid out and my ends just looked odd, they were stringy, they weren't curling. I tried to do the 12 method with the gel, wasn't really doing anything, so I was just like, you know, I was going to cut it. So I cut about 2 inches off and my ends have curled back, but I think I missed this strand, so it will probably get cut this week because I now kind of be reminded, but I'll just probably cut like that much off. It's not really, I don't really get bothered about stuff like that, like in terms of cutting, so I just cut that off and it will curl back. See, that was my kind of mistake on bleaching, and that's what my consequence was. And yeah, that was my kind of after effects of bleaching. Will I bleach again? No, just because of that kind of episode that I had. But in terms of the way that my hair is health-wise, it's fine. I haven't had any breakage from having my hair coloured. All I've had is shedding, and shedding and breaking are completely two different things, and I'm not going to go into that right now. I'll do a video about that another time. No breakage. As you can see, my hair is still here. Hair has been drier just because of the bleach. When I had the tint, it wasn't as dry, but it was slightly drier, but not as dry as it is now with the bleach. This video is a joke, but anyway. So yeah, that's kind of my experience with colour. If you do have any questions, please leave them down below and I'll try to answer them. I'm not a hair specialist, I'm not a colourist, I'm not a hairdresser, so I'm only going to answer them as much as I can. Also, henna. Let me talk about henna. I had hennaed for a year prior to getting my hair coloured, and I was very weary about dyeing my hair because it had been hennaed for a year. It wasn't like I did it twice and then I got it done. I had hennaed for a good 2 years. And I went to 2 salons and asked them, you know, can I dye my hair because it's been hennaed? And they said to me, no, like, you can't do it. Why would you want to do it and all this foolishness? And I wanted to do it because the henna was only shown in the light, and you know, I don't want outdoor hair, I want indoor hair as well. I wanted the colour to show all the time. I didn't want it to be just outside, so that's why I wanted to get it dyed. But I was told you couldn't do it. I read on some websites you couldn't do it, you shouldn't do it, you should wait for the henna to grow out. But that's going to take forever and a day. I don't have 5 years to wait for henna to grow out when I want to colour my hair now. And I didn't get anything bad. Some people may have. I do think that is a bit of a lucky dip situation, but saying that, natural hair and this whole thing is a lucky dip situation anyway. Some products don't work, some products do work, some experiences for you won't happen to some people. So it's one of the things that if you're into taking risks and stuff, do it. If you're not, then don't do it. It's as simple as that, and that's how I am. So I just took the risk and did it. I didn't, and because I know how to moisturize and how to do, like, look after my hair, it wasn't a problem for me. So I just got it coloured. I wasn't really bothered. But yeah, the henna hasn't affected the way my hair is. I still am in love with the colour. It's been nearly 6 months since I got the bleach done, and as you can see, it still looks good. My roots, I have roots and roots for days. What I will say, since using the Yes to Carrots Colour Care Conditioner, my colour has popped back up. It's gone back up, and I'm so happy because summer in England is coming when it comes, and my hair's gonna look amazing in the sun. So I'm happy that that kind of conditioner has popped my colour up. I don't know how, and I need to look at the ingredients again, but something in there has made my colour pop back up, because I've had about 20 people who I've known for a long time, who saw my hair when it was originally coloured, said to me, oh my gosh, you recoloured your hair. And I'm like, no, I haven't. And it must be the conditioner. So that's the only thing I can think of, because the only new product I've been using. And people are like, oh my gosh, the colours looks amazing, da, 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 da. So Yes, the cucumbers. If you do have any questions that I may have not answered in this video, I know it's a bit of a rambling video, please leave them down below. We respond to every question that's asked, so please leave a comment down below if you have any questions in regards to hair colour. Naomi will be doing a video on how she colours her hair personally, because she is qualified, so she's going to show you some tips and techniques that she uses for that. I'm only going off of experiences from doing it in a professional salon. I did my first colour at Veda Institute in Covent Garden, and the second one was at the Durham Scott salon in Maida Vale, and I'll leave the website links to their services down below. You know, be very wary and very smart when it comes to stuff like hair colour. A lot of people are scared to do it, but at the end of the day, it's about how educated you are and how much research and information you want to do, because with the more research and information you have, you know, the more comfortable you'll feel about doing it. Yeah, like I said, leave your comments down below. Make sure you are following us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The new website is on its way very soon, and until next time, YouTube, bye.